I've been a fan of RC vehicles since I was a little kid. That passion grew even more when I came across RC simulators. Having tried out a few on both PC and even mobile, I've gained a bit of experience with this genre. Now, the folks over at Trasnatech have released their newest project, AccuRC 2. The team has tried to create a realistic simulator with a lot of detailed mechanics. Does it manage to hit the mark? As is the case with all other RC simulators, the core idea behind AccuRC 2 is to provide a realistic virtualization of remote-controlled vehicles. The simulator includes different types such as planes, helicopters, drones, quadcopters, and even cars. The mechanics behind each of the models have been built to match their real-world counterparts, not just in the looks, but also in the way that they handle and control. In other words, the mechanics have been fine-tuned in an attempt to make taking a real RC model for a spin and then controlling the same one inside the simulator feel like an almost identical experience. I don't own any of the models that are in AccuRC 2, so I wasn't able to make a side-by-side comparison. Even so, I do have a lot of experience with RC vehicles like a few AirHogs products, among others. Having tried all of AccuRC 2's different vehicle types, I can say that my favorite is definitely the airplanes. While the vast majority of the in-game models are copters, I really like the way that the planes handle. In fact, an RC plane that my dad bought me when I was little is actually inside this game. I found that really exciting because that RC plane actually never worked, so now I was finally able to fly it basically for the first time here in AccuRC 2. It's not the exact same one, but it's so close it might as well be. So in that case, I may be a little biased, but it's basically my favorite model in the whole simulator. In any case, each of the different models are unique, with no two handling exactly the same. Even some of the copters that are just different variations of each other have a unique feel and behavior. Definitely have to hand it to the team at Trasnatech. They did a great job at making each of the models feel authentic. But that isn't to say that this is a perfect collection. AccuRC 2 supports a wide variety of control options. Like most other RC sims, this one supports actual RC transmitters that can be hooked up to your computer. This control method is required for some simulators, whereas others, such as AccuRC 2, also allow you to use other controllers like a gamepad or even a joystick. Since I don't own an RC transmitter, my entire experience with this sim was by means of an Xbox 360 controller. All of the button mappings and analog inputs fit well on the controller, but the overall experience was just not the best. I mentioned already that my favorite vehicle type in AccuRC 2 is the planes. That's mainly due to the fact that they happen to be the easiest to handle while using a 360 controller. Everything else felt incredibly twitchy and over-responsive. Some copters were pretty stable, but the majority of them just zipped around like flies on a sugar rush. Big drones like the DJI Inspire handled okay, but the smaller stun drones were basically impossible to maneuver. The cars weren't too bad, but turning was pretty twitchy. The developers actually admit that the best control experience is achieved with an actual RC transmitter, and that using traditional gamepads would result in a less accurate experience. But I don't really get why this is the case. I've played other RC simulators on my tablet, and the control experience was actually pretty nice, and that was with touch controls of all things. I'll give Trasnatech the benefit of the doubt and assume that due to all the realistic mechanics that are present in the game, it's not very easy to emulate with a standard controller. Even so, I still wish some improvements would be made for those who do not own RC transmitters. Beyond controlling the models, things continue to be hit and miss. AccuRC 2 features different sceneries for you to fly in, separated into two types: photo sceneries and 3D landscapes. The photo sceneries are a collection of static images stitched together inside a 3D space to give an illusion that you're standing in an actual location. Think of it like Google Street View, but add RC vehicles into the mix. These types of sceneries can be found in basically every other RC simulator, so it wasn't surprising to see them here. As for the 3D landscapes, they're alright. With the few that are available, I like the fact that they allow you to point the camera behind the model or even go in a first-person view, but the environments themselves are rather underwhelming. They're all pretty small and the collision detection is incredibly buggy. I've managed to phase through solid objects on multiple occasions, and I've even hit the ground only to bounce straight back up. These issues are present in the photo sceneries too, but it's far more pronounced in the 3D landscapes. On the topic of sceneries, let's switch the discussion over to visuals. All of the models look very detailed and well designed. Compare it to their real-world counterparts and you can see the developers really took their time to get even the smallest details down packed. The 2D photo sceneries are also pretty nice. The resolution of the pictures aren't razor sharp, but the quality is still good enough. As for the 3D environments, again, I'm left unimpressed. Almost all of the textures are low resolution and pretty ugly, especially the two city environments. They really do not look good at all for a game being released in 2017. In terms of sound, AccuRC 2 holds up a lot nicer. While some of the models do reuse the same motor sounds, everything sounds pretty good for the most part. As the models move further away from you, the sound will gradually fade, which of course is very realistic. If you're flying in a 3D environment and bring the camera to follow or go in first-person view, it sounds much different than when you're viewing from the perspective of the pilot on the ground. There's even a built-in MP3 player, so you can jam out to your favorite music while you're playing. Now to bring it back to the main question, can I recommend you to play AccuRC 2? Indeed, it's not the best RC simulator that I've played so far. Others, like the Real Flight series, offer more models and more sceneries and more scenarios. That one in particular even allows users to create their own models and share them with others online, a feature that is right now totally absent in AccuRC 2. I'm hoping that this functionality will be added in the future, as that would be very nice to have. That, in addition to improved controller support and overhauled 3D environments, would definitely make me recommend this to any RC sim fan. Do I still suggest that you play this? Well, it's not a bad simulator, so yes, go ahead and give it a try if you really want to. I really just hope Trasnatech can apply some more polish in the future. Thanks for watching this PC Gaming Enthusiast review, and hope to see you in the next one.